There are vast amounts of life, even in just the smallest amount of soil. The microbes, the fungus, the connection, the way the plant asks for nutrients and works with the whole ecosystem to create this healthy, nutritious food, and invites wildlife and invites health and abundance and diversified resiliency is possible when you're using these kind of practices. My message for future generations is I'm sorry. I'm sorry this hasn't been solved yet. I'm sorry that society hasn't come to a place of recognizing how important serving life is, and how important healthy soil and clean air and clean water and beautiful places and rewarding environments that unlock human potential and that are encouraged. The cards have been stacked against my generation, and I'm sure it's been stacked against your generation, and I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can to have every opportunity to put you in an environment and a space where you thrive. So we are at an Indian temple with a permaculture farm with every different direction of just resilient, hardcore farmer gardener compared to the really free spirit, ecstatic dance community. And it's all just kind of swimming together. And for us in Utah, it's really important to have spaces like this that are sober, inspiring, beautiful, and sacred, because so many people feel disconnected when they're no longer LDS or Mormon, which is kind of the dominant culture in this valley. A lot of people feel polarized, like the only other option is to party or do drugs or to kind of like lose themselves in the counterculture. And I think what we found here with this farm and with Ecstatic Dance and with this sacred temple that we get to be at, that there's this beautiful place for people to start to explore their soul's purpose, and I love it. Like the gardeners here get to come and volunteer and help with harvest and help in the garden, and in exchange they get to go to dance, and it's just been this like beautiful closed loop system of community and farming and all the things and blessings that come from that. So that's where we're at.
Wait, no drugs, alcohol, talking.
No cell phone.
No cell phones. Why?
Yeah.
How can you socialize without any of these things?
Exactly.
I think for me, it's a place where I can like center with myself and connect with myself and connect with other people in like a really vulnerable and safe space.
This is Ecstatic Dance, so every week they hold a conscious dance container that is completely consensual based. They hold a space that's in the moment, so there's no phones, there's no shoes, there's no talking. And everyone comes here to dance and move and share in the experience that we call this life and connect with other individuals on a conscious level. And raising that consciousness through dance and music.
When you come here, you just feel loved. Always welcomed, always loved. Lots of hugs and smiling faces, and everyone is just sharing their beautiful energy together, and we cry together and we laugh together and we dance together and we do so many things together, and that's what the community is about. This place really teaches you what community means, and it's family.
It's very ancient for us to be in connection with all of our plant and animal relatives and the land around us and the environment. It's only very recently that we've been put in these kind of concrete jungles, if you will, of the urban environment, or and found ways to live without needing to have that connection. But it's deep within us, right? Our DNA, our bones, our blood, we have always known instinctually what it means to be in service to life and be in the web of life. And so I think that life knows when you're serious. I think life knows when you truly care, and life knows when that is what your heart's intention is, and the rest of the path starts to lay out in front of you. If you were to go onto my street, for instance, I have this backyard oasis that like is super surprising, right? You go onto it, it's just kind of like, oh, this could be any street USA, and then all of a sudden you walk back there and it's like, what happened here, right? And so what I'm trying to get at is, as soon as you start to look, as soon as your heart is set on, I'm gonna serve life and I'm gonna bring blessings to not just the people in my life, but the land around me as well, the path will be clear. And I know that's kind of an easy out to say that the next step will appear, but like start talking about it, start dreaming about it, start watching videos, start reading books. Plant even one plant. Almost everybody on this planet, not everyone I recognize, but almost everybody has some stewardship or some involvement with land around them. And even just starting one plant and learning how to recognize it as a living being and honor it that way. Like every plant needs good soil, needs watering, needs sunlight, just like a human, just like any living thing. And if you love something, you will learn what it takes to serve that life, right? Just like you would with a lover or a friend. You'd say, oh, let's go do something fun that you want to do. That's how you honor some other life. And so the same goes for our plant relatives, right? Learn what they love, learn how to make the compost, learn how to feed that plant, and it feeds you also. And so I would just say it's easier than you might think. I just think it's important to set your soul on that course, and the rest comes clear really quickly, in my opinion. All right, let's do a quick Basil Blitz so we can make some pesto before the freeze gets it. Yay! That's a nice big basil.
And we'll just come all the way to the bottom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
It's
one
not
will take
gonna
a
let
couple.
me.
And anything that's gone to seed, let's try to cut off the seed heads so that we're using our space the best we can. Oh, pesto's great. It stores well in the freezer. I've got some from like 3 years ago I still cook with. Pesto's awesome. What I'm seeing here is that I have more basil than I can even fit in this container, so I've got a little bit of an issue to solve there.
You make my heart sing. I love you, Mama. I love you, Pachamama.
I read this book called The Omnivores Dilemma by Michael Cundick, and he talks about these different ways you can get your food, you know, and he starts with the fast food, and you learn about these huge corporate monocultures and the poisons that go into that, and the soil extraction, and the, you know, the devastation of rural communities, and then finally just the food itself is just like not good. It's making people sick, you know? And then he finally paints this picture of this farmer named Joel Salatin out on the East Coast that has this holistic farm where everything works in concert with nature, and he's able to revitalize this landscape and provide all the needs that people have. And that to me was just like absolutely life-changing, just a 180 degree. I immediately started a nonprofit to get all my artists and musicians friends engaged in the process of elevating local food production. And pretty quickly from there, there's a lot you can learn about growing food, and there's a lot of ways that it comes together to help people. Not just having the food, but also the community that comes around it is so important to me too. But very quickly I learned about this word, permaculture, and that's changed everything for me. I went and got certified with my wife, and we've been on this journey ever since of how do we most serve life, right? Permaculture is really just permanent and culture. So something that is sustaining indefinitely and that supports human life. So yeah, I think all communities anywhere, when you really get to the root of it, we want to have a permanent approach to serving life in all of its variety, right? It's not just about human life. We got to find ourselves in that beautiful web of interrelation. You know, for me, I love the permaculture idea that we're moving from a place from inside, from closest to home, and then moving outwards, right? Radiating outwards. That's big in Taoism too. That idea of like, master yourself, then your family, then your community, then your country, then your planet, right? It moves in that way. It's not something you can just point way out there and say someone else needs to change or someone else needs to fix this. That starts at home. That starts inside you. It starts in your bedroom. It starts in your home, your yard, and there's a lot of lawns out there, and I am ready for those lawns to become food and medicine producing gardens. And so one of the first steps I had to do was get myself in a home situation where I felt like I was surrounded by an ecosystem, not just one little plot of tomatoes, but I have a really fun yard. I get ponds and chickens, and I have fruit trees, and I absolutely love being able to wake up, start my day by taking care of that, making breakfast based off the stuff that I've grown, and welcoming in this new paradigm, this new story that so many people are waking up to, feeling the call of, and I think just like me, feeling the blessings that come once they answer that call and commit to that desire.
when you find something that's just too good, you're like, that's mine. Love it.
So a few months ago, I was asked to run as Salt Lake County Mayor by the Green Party of Utah, and I did not expect that invitation, but I am loving the opportunity to bring forth what I believe in and the work that's been done on this community level and bring that to the political sphere and really have a chance to spread messages that are just not being discussed and are desperate, self-evident truths that need to be on the public sphere and on that political spectrum. I had not intended to run for politics. Dee is the one who poked me and said, hey, would you like to do this? And I said, well, gosh, if it means that we can raise awareness for clean air, clean water, fertile soils, food sovereignty, justice, equality, and all the work that's being done in this valley, and it means I'll be able to say that on a louder, broader spectrum. I don't feel like there's a way to lose as long as the things that I believe in so deeply are elevated along with this campaign effort. That's what I'm all about, and I'm so excited to be blasting that message anywhere that I get the chance to throughout this process.
I love you, Mama. I love you, Pachamama.